Thank you. My name is...
Excuse me one second. The level of disruption and be a problem. Maybe the...
Excuse me, Sheriff, it's a little bit hard for us to hear in here because of the noise outside. So I don't know if you can do something to move people further away. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I just want to be able to hear everybody who speaks.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. My name is Deborah Hanniela. I am a resident of San Francisco, but I am also an attorney and have been in good standing in Washington State. I was on the task force and formed the task force on police-perpetrated domestic violence after the murder of Crystal Judson in Tacoma, Washington. So I know this intimately. I was a public defender for many years, so I represented batterers as well. The sheriff needs to be removed. I was also a judge pro tem, and as all of us know in the position of judges, not only does it have to be fair, the person has to be fair, but there must be an appearance of fairness. There is no appearance of fairness with this sheriff. In Washington State, we formed a task force with Supreme Court Justice Barbara Madsen as my assistant, we were co-chairs. We had a task force of police, prosecutors, batterers, victims, everybody on there, 80 people, and formed the officer-involved domestic violence policies that say for every police agency in the state of Washington, you must have mandatory minimum policies in place to handle officer-involved domestic violence. I haven't seen anything like that here. You don't have that, step one. Step two, I had Diane Wettendorf, who's an expert on police-perpetrated domestic violence, come out to train the advocates, to train the police, to train the prosecutors. And when I say I mean my entire task force. I am alarmed as now a citizen of San Francisco when I see the same thing going on. No, we don't have a murder-suicide, but do we need to reach that point before we already have policies in place to handle this? I'm not going to turn to this sheriff and assist him because he hasn't been held accountable. He pled guilty to the crime, and yet he doesn't take responsibility for it.
Thank you, ma'am.